the tickets where people believe she will be playing. And that's starting to make the ticket prices go up, up, and up.
Caitlin Clark's return to the court has done more than excite fans. It's reignited a storm of envy among her harshest critics. The rookie who's already reshaped the WNBA in just a few months is back in action, and the spotlight is brighter than ever. But with that spotlight comes tension. From subtle jabs by veteran players to frustrated reactions from analysts who can't keep her name out of their mouths, the jealousy is real, and it's growing. Why does her comeback feel like a threat to some? And what does it say about the power Clark holds in the game right now? This return isn't just about basketball. It's about influence, control, and who gets to define the future of women's sports.
Ticket sales are down 70% in many places. The Fever played the Mystics 2 nights ago. The cheapest ticket before her injury was announced was $41, okay? The cheapest one. After her injury was announced and people knew that she wasn't going to be playing, the lowest ticket price dropped to $3. $3. This is the Caitlin Clark effect. The WNBA doesn't quite realize what they have in Caitlin Clark. She is the absolute golden goose, the golden ticket. She is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
And that uneasiness? It's starting to show. As Clark's popularity soars, so does the backlash. Some veteran players have begun throwing shade, questioning the attention she gets, the praise she receives, even the minutes she plays. Others have taken subtle shots in interviews or cryptic social media posts. From Hall of Famers like Cheryl Swoops to current MVPs like Aja Wilson, the message is clear. Not everyone is happy with the spotlight being handed to a rookie. But here's the truth. The spotlight wasn't handed to Caitlin Clark. She earned it. Through performance, pressure, and pure impact. And now, with her return, that spotlight is only getting brighter, making the jealousy from others all the more obvious.
Don't hate the player, hate the game she got, because she's really talented, especially for being fuming, She's like the Stephen Curry of WNBA with the threes and stuff. Like, proven fact is, they had a game on June 7th scheduled. It was going to be Ada Reese's team, which plays for Chicago, and then for Caitlin Clark's team. They were supposed to go up there playing Chicago on June 7th. First, the ticket sales were at $76 a ticket. Then after they found out Caitlin Clark's not playing that game, she got injured, sales dropped to $25 a ticket.
When Caitlin Clark took a brief break from the action, resting her body, during a grueling WNBA stretch, you'd think the spotlight might finally shift. But nope, it only burned brighter. Even from the bench, she was the main attraction. Cameras followed her every move like she was the headline act at a sold-out concert. A botched pre-game routine? Viral within minutes. A courtside apology after a stumble? Fans were rewinding it like a blooper reel. Whether she was cracking jokes with coaches or lighting up the faces of young fans, Caitlin wasn't playing, but she was still dominating. And that's what separates her. She doesn't chase moments, she is the moment. And for players who've been grinding in the shadows for years without a sliver of this attention, yeah, that kind of effortless spotlight. It doesn't just surprise them, it stings. Now let's talk about what many are thinking but few are willing to say out loud. The rise of Caitlin Clark hasn't been met with universal applause. In fact, for some, it's been met with discomfort, even resentment.
She's human after all, Dan. She's going to be out for at least a couple of weeks, it appears.
Yeah, what's interesting about Caitlin Clark? Remember last year, she played in the Final Four. Right after that, she went immediately to the WNBA. Draft came, season started, and, didn't miss a beat. And all of a sudden, she got a little rest and comes back, gets a little banged up. I heard you talking about it earlier, and it's going to be fascinating to me, Ricky. I've been to Fever games, and the one thing you notice, and this is more so than even when Peyton Manning was the quarterback of the Colts.
And it's not just about airtime or headlines. It's about respect. It's about years of grinding, of playing through empty arenas, of building a league from the ground up only to see the spotlight shift overnight to someone who just arrived. Clark represents something bigger than herself. To some, she's the symbol of a league finally breaking into the mainstream. To others, she's a sign that the league's priorities and its marketing dollars are changing fast. And not everyone's on board with that shift. This isn't just about who scores the most points. It's about control. It's about legacy. It's about what it means when the new face of women's basketball is suddenly not the one they expected. Inside the Indiana Fever's practice facility, the buzz is unmistakable. She's returning with a fire and focus that's even stronger than before. Coaches and teammates alike are noticing it. Her shot is crisper, her court vision sharper, and her leadership more commanding. The synergy Caitlin Clark is cultivating with stars like Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell is nothing short of transformative for the Indiana Fever. It's not just about individual talent, it's about how their strengths are perfectly woven together into a seamless team fabric. Clark's unparalleled court vision and fearless scoring are beautifully complemented by Boston's physical dominance and lockdown defense in the paint, while Mitchell's precise shooting from deep spaces the floor and keeps defenses guessing. What makes this trio so dangerous is their ability to read each other instinctively. A glance, a subtle movement, a shift in pace, all signaling the next play before it even unfolds.
Shame on you! Kathy Engelbert pens this beautiful article written by Kathy, about Kathy, for Kathy, explaining why she is solely responsible for the boom of the WNBA. Folks, I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. The commissioner of the WNBA on transferring the league ahead of a breakout season. And what was that plan that Kathy Engelbert put in place? Working in partnership with my new WNBA team members, NBA colleagues, and WNBA owners, we developed a strategy with 3 pillars. The league would think player first.
This chemistry has sparked a remarkable turnaround for the Fever, who have evolved from a team struggling to find its footing into a legitimate playoff contender. Every practice reveals a team growing in confidence and cohesion, with sharper passes, tighter defenses, and more aggressive, unselfish basketball. They're battling through tough opponents and clawing their way up the standings, fueled by a collective hunger for success and recognition. Fans are starting to believe again, energized by the hope that the Fever can reach heights they've long dreamed of. Clark's return from rest isn't just a boost, it's a game changer. Her presence electrifies the team, igniting a competitive fire and raising the level of play for everyone on the court. The possibility of making the playoffs is no longer just a distant hope or a pipe dream. It's becoming a very real, achievable goal. The Fever are stepping into a new era, one defined by teamwork, resilience, and the fearless leadership of Caitlin Clark. This rising momentum could turn into a full-blown surge, and if it does, the WNBA landscape could shift dramatically, all thanks to the powerful bond of this remarkable trio. But while the Fever's fans are celebrating, behind the scenes, a deeper storyline is unfolding, one that goes beyond basketball. Clark's return threatens to widen a growing divide in the league. On one side, there are those who see her as the future, a beacon of hope, excitement, and growth for women's basketball. On the other, there are skeptics and critics who quietly or sometimes loudly hope her star dims. For them, her success challenges the established order, the veterans who fought for recognition, and the narratives that have shaped the league for decades. And if Caitlin Clark comes back not just ready, but better than ever, the volume of that division, those doubts, and those rivalries will only explode, setting the stage for what could be the most dramatic chapter in WNBA history. Social media has become the ultimate scoreboard, and Caitlin Clark's return has set every platform on fire. Scroll through Twitter and you'll see timelines flooded with jaw-dropping highlight reels, clever memes, and passionate hot takes. One fan perfectly summed it up, saying, "She rested for a few games and still owned the headlines. That's GOAT energy." Another added, "They told her to pay her dues. She's cashing in with interest." So, where does all of this lead? Caitlin Clark's return isn't just about logging minutes on the scoreboard or piling up points in the box score. It goes far deeper. It's about power, influence, and the battle for the spotlight in a league that's evolving right before our eyes. Clark represents more than just a phenomenal talent. She embodies a new era, a shift in how the WNBA tells its stories and markets its stars. Her rise has sparked debates, fueled rivalries, and challenged the status quo. Questions swirl around her. Will she rise above the critics and doubters? Can she maintain her incredible momentum in the face of pressure, scrutiny, and envy? Or will the weight of expectations and the undercurrents of resentment finally catch up to her? One thing is crystal clear. The Caitlin Clark story is far from finished. In fact, it's only just beginning. Every game she plays, every highlight she creates, every moment she commands attention adds another chapter to a narrative that's captivating fans and reshaping the league. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a skeptic, whether you cheer for her or question her hype, one fact remains undeniable: as long as Caitlin Clark is on the court, the world will be watching. And in this pivotal moment for women's basketball, her journey could define not just a season but the future of the entire game.